What's up, guys? My name is Nate. This is Starter Only. Behind me, I have a 2023 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. Let's check it out. Alright, so we'll take a look at our key fob here just for a second. It looks very rugged. I like how it feels. It has a nice hefty weight to it. You do have your unlock, your lock, your remote start ability there, and then your alarm button, of course. And then this button here, if you push this, it'll retract the manual key. The key also has proximity lock and unlock, and then you can also use your push to start. All right, so before we start all of the specs and all that stuff, let's go ahead and take a look at this sheet here since I actually have it today. And if you want to, you can pause the video and you can look deeper into this. But just notice right here, your total price for all of the things I have here today. Okay, so here we are. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this color is bright white clear coat. There are a total of 9 different Jeep Gladiator models to choose from. So I'm going to start from the lowest to the highest. First you have Sport, Willys Sport, Sport S, Freedom, Willys, Overland, Rubicon, Mojave, and High Altitude. So this trim, as you can see on the side there, is Rubicon. So it has a 3-liter V6 turbo gasoline engine. There is also a diesel variant as well. And this one has an 8-speed automatic transmission. And then as far as the drivetrain, it has a 4-in-1 Rock Track full-time all-wheel drive system. And it pushes out 285 horsepower and 260 foot-pounds of torque. For the fuel economy, it gets 17 city, 22 highway, and 19 combined. And it weighs 6,250 pounds. And it can also tow 4,500 pounds. So I also want to add some of the other items that this Jeep is spec'd with. So it does have a true lock front axle as well as the rear axle. It has front disconnecting stabilizer bar, cab and bed steel rock rails. It has a total of 3 skid plates, one in the front bumper, second one is in the transfer case, and then the last one is a fuel tank. It also has removable doors, 3-piece removable roof, and there is also a full-size spare tire underneath the bed of this truck. Okay, so let's start at the hood here and let's take a look. So up top, beautiful hood. You can see there's a dip right here and then a nice little bulge that runs in the center there. Pretty cool. You do have some hooks right there as well. And you actually have some functional venting as well. I really love these hinges from Jeep. They look really good. Makes it look very rugged. This thing is extremely sturdy. We'll take a look at this windshield as well, just to show you the angle of it. It is almost upright. All right, let's come on down to the front here. You have your pretty iconic Jeep grille. You have some nice headlights there on the side. They are halogen. If you did want full LEDs here and here, you'll have to pay almost $2,000 extra, which I think is pretty insane. You also have some fog lights down below, and those are also halogen as well. You want to unclip the hood, you just use these right here. You do have some tow hooks in red down below, which I think look really good with this white. And you do have a pretty sturdy skid plate underneath as well. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights here and then also the hazards so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so it is pretty bright outside, but I think you get the idea. I think these would look so much better if they were in LED. and they were standard too, so you don't have to pay an extra $2,000 just for something that most of the vehicles nowadays already have. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the side of the vehicle here. I love this giant Rubicon badge that you have there. Looks very nice. Look at these giant fender flares here. My goodness, it looks really good, especially with this front bumper. It just comes out so much. Of course, this is an off-road machine, so they really built it well. Take a look at that suspension in there as well, and how thick the tread is on these 33-inch tires. So the wheels here are 17 inches, and they are in graphite. Of course, they are by Jeep. And I love that Jeep has these little Jeep trucks there. Moving on to the side here, you also have some more functional venting there. Beautiful Jeep Gladiator logo. Also a trail rated 4x4 badge there. I really love the look of these bolts here on the door hinges as well. So with these doors, you can remove them. Jeep includes a kit for you here. And then you also get instructions on how to remove them. All right. So looking at these mirrors here, there's really nothing special with them. This is for the trail. You can get blind spot monitoring and stuff like that if you would like. That is an option. However, this one is not spec'd like that. And then you do have a proximity key, so you can just open your door, and you can also lock it with this button here. And if you happen to have a dead battery, you can just use the manual. Pretty rugged looking handles as well, and it has a nice slam to it, and it is meant to be slammed. And then here's one of your rock rails. Feels very sturdy. And then you also have some in the rear here as well. Here's your fuel door. You do have a rear window on this as well that is manual opening. It'd be pretty nice if they had an automatic version, but I do understand that this is a three-piece top, so it does remove. So perhaps there are some complications in doing that. Let's go on to the bottom real quick here and show you that full-size spare. You can also see the exhaust tip there as well. And then this does have the tow hitch package, so you do have a tow hitch there as well. You have more hooks in the back in red. Giant Jeep logo. Your rear camera there is shown. And your third brake light is just above your bed. And if you do open it, it is a soft open there. Don't mind my garbage here. I was just picking up trash before I filmed this video. But this is a decent sized bed. There are other options too where you can add rails and all of that good stuff. This one was not optioned that way. All right, so now let's go ahead and listen to this exhaust, and then we'll take a look at the engine bay. Okay, so up front to look at the hood here, there's nothing inside of the vehicle to unlock the hood. You have to use these latches here. So you let down here on either side, and then you do have to push just a little bit to release, and then you can do the same on this side as well. All right, and then you have your hood prop at the top there that extends down. So this is your 3-liter V6 gasoline engine. All right, so I have the doors open. Let's go ahead and sit in the back seat. I do have the seat adjusted for myself at 6'1". Let's see if it's big enough to fit all your friends in here and go crawling. So there is a decent amount of leg room in here. You do have some nice cutouts. You have a nice pocket on the door and on the back of the driver and passenger seats. You have your own window controls, your AC controls, some nice deep cup holders either on the bottom here, or you can also extend out this armrest here to reveal some more. You do have some giant speakers here as well, so you can blare some music while you're off-roading. And then this third piece top here does come off, so you do have some bars that you can grab onto either the actual frame of the vehicle or these right here. And lastly, you do have some nice black leather with some red trim in the back. Makes the seats feel very comfortable. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the interior. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start with the passenger door here. So you do have your door lever here, your locking controls. You have a small cubby here, and here are some nice leather there as well. And then you do have a net for some of your belongings. There's not going to be too much on the doors because remember, they are removable. And then looking at the seats here, nice Rubicon logo there, and your nice leather. And then you do have the red trim. And then if you want to adjust this part of your seat, you'll have to use this tag here. And it is also manual adjusting with the lever down below. We'll take a look at the glove box as well. Pretty small, but it is deep. And you do have a grab handle here and here, as well as some speakers here, and then another one up top there. Some nice red trim there, some AC vents. Okay, so and now looking at the driver's side door, pretty much the same as the passenger side, except you're going to have your mirror controls since you will need to do that. And then looking at the front seat is also a little bit different. You do have some manual controls here. This lever is going to be the same as the passenger side. You can adjust this upper part of the seat here. And then this lever is going to adjust the height of the seat. And then you also have a little dial that turns for your different lumbar. And then it is also manual as well. And then moving on into the vehicle, starting with the center console here. Firstly, you do have these little open areas here that you can put a cord through. And then it does have a two-piece system. This is the first part, a decent amount of storage. And then there's also another lever as well at the very bottom. And that will reveal the second area. And then you do have some USBs there as well. This is a pretty deep storage area, if I might say. Go ahead and close that. You do have a manual parking brake, which is cool. And then you also have your cup holders. It has these little rubber things that will squeeze your cups and make sure that they're in place. And then you do have your gear selector. And then you do have your 4-in-1 full all-wheel drive system that Jeep claims. And then moving on up from there, you do have some media USBs and auxiliaries. You have a 12-volt DC adapter there. These are all going to be your window switches since, again, these doors are removable. We don't want those switches to be on the doors. And then you do have some axle lock controls there, your sway bar control. You have an off-road plus mode as well. And then you can turn off your other items there as well. All of the AC controls will be here. This also has a cold weather group, which will add a heated steering wheel and also some heated seats as well. And then you also have a mute button, volume control knob with these little cogwheel type feel to it. And this will control your fan speed. And then this is your tuning knob. You also have an auto engine off button there, traction control off, and then a select speed button, and then your screen off if you don't want your screen above to be on at all. And then looking at the infotainment, starting with media over here. So this does have wired Apple CarPlay and also wired Android Auto as well. And then it has standard Bluetooth. So for media controls, you can control everything here. If you go over to climate, then here are all of your climate options. You have different controls as well. Go to your U apps here. You have backup camera. Has a pretty decent resolution to it. This touchscreen is also very responsive as well. You also have some other options here. Another place that is pretty interesting is the off-road pages. It does take a little bit of time to load, but it does provide some useful information to it. So this is about your drivetrain. You can see here there's steering angle, sway bar is connected, the front axle is unlocked, the rear axle is also unlocked, and I am in two-wheel drive high. You also have accessory gauges as well that show all of your temperatures, pitch and roll. So currently I'm at 3 degrees. You also have navigation, Apple CarPlay, of course, and then some different car settings that you can go through. Taking a look at the steering wheel, this is a leather wrapped steering wheel that is heated. I think this is also part of that cold weather group package as well. The steering wheel is very easy and simple. Nice Jeep logo here in the center. It kind of has a rugged type feel to it. Down below here, you have your media controls on this side. These options here will configure this screen right here in the center. And then you have some analog gauges on the side there. And then your cruise control options right here, which are very simple as well. And then on the side here, you have all of your lighting controls. And then this is a manual telescoping steering wheel, which you can use this button right here. And then looking at the center here, I like to keep the center gauge to show my miles per hour. If you click OK on this left button here, it'll show your kilometers. You can also adjust or configure whatever you'd like to be on this section here, this center one, and then also on the far right as well. If you continue to push the down arrow, it'll show you some different information. As you can see there, there's more of the menu. If I push to the right, it'll give me pretty much all of that stuff that was in my other gauges on the infotainment screen there. Continue on down, some fuel economy, trip information, audio, and I like to keep it right there. Okay, so before we take it for a drive, we'll look at these visors here. So you do have an option to attach your garage door opener there. You have visors on either side. Then you do have some assistance buttons up here. And then if you wanted to remove the tops here, you just have to unlink all of these areas there. And then you can also see the black shell is what would be left here. All right, so we're in the Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. Let's just start out with a 0 to 60 in two-wheel drive mode. There's 60. So it takes a little bit of time, but again, it's not a performance car. This is an off-road vehicle, and it does off-road pretty well. So I've been doing draggies in this for a couple shots, and I was pretty much getting mid 8 seconds. The lowest one I got was around 8 seconds flat, so not bad whatsoever. Again, it's not meant for that. So talking about the looks in this thing, I really like it. I love the massive, rugged, off-roady look that it gives. I live in the city. I do have some little puddles and, dirt patches and stuff some places, and it makes me feel pretty good, honestly, driving this around knowing that if anything happened, I'd be able to conquer it as far as road conditions and stuff like that. Pretty cool, honestly. And as far as fuel economy, I've been driving this on the freeway for a good amount of time as well, and it does pretty well. It does have a massive fuel tank as well, but that being said, this is a pretty boxy Jeep, and the windshield is almost vertical, so pretty surprising on that. I also really love this steering wheel layout. It's so simple. It's not overly complicated. I am a car enthusiast at the end of the day, and I love my super complicated BMW and Mercedes, but sometimes it's really nice to just hop in a vehicle and everything is so simple. You don't have to dig into infotainment to get certain things. It's just laid out. Whatever you see is exactly what it is, and this does that very well. So let's talk about comfortability. So these seats are pretty dang comfortable as well. They do have some leather material on them with some red contrast stitching. You have a pretty good center console here where you can rest your arms. You do have a shifter here that you can pop into manual mode, which when you're off-roading can be pretty nice. Manually shifting through the gears and stuff like that. And that is also pretty fun as well to do as I'm coming up on a stop, just shifting. Go ahead and accelerate again here. Yeah, there's just something about shifting on your own that's just super fun. And I can definitely see, I'm not an off-road person, but I can definitely see why people get into this. So there are also some other vehicles in this segment too. Toyota Tacoma, Chevy Colorado, you have the Nissan Frontier as well. out of all of those, I think I would honestly choose the Jeep Gladiator. I think the looks really just have me, and then too, some of these upgrade packages that you can get on this thing, it's so nice. I do wish that this did have a front camera though. I think that would be very nice. But nonetheless, these are all things you can option. Another thing I really wish that it had was standard LED headlights. I feel like that's a must, especially in 2023. It's kind of weird that that's almost an $1,800 option when LEDs just, they shine brighter, they look nicer, it gives the vehicles an overall better aesthetic appearance. So those are my thoughts on that. Overall, I love this vehicle. I would definitely recommend this, especially if you can find one used. So thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, consider leaving a like, consider subscribing, comment down below if you have questions. Thank you so much. Peace.